The report released today was conducted by the Alliance for Campaign Finance Monitoring on the financing of campaigns for the presidential and parliamentary during the just concluded elections.
Report of FACFIM on election campaign finance monitoring 2016 in 3, 2, 1, 0.
According to the National Coordinator Henry Muguzi, with a total of 2.4 trillion Uganda shillings expenditure, President Museveni and the NRM party outspent others by 91.5%.
In the NRM, the highest percentage of spending was made at party level, okay? Followed by the president, presidential candidate, and the MPs spent least. This is the opposite of what happened in other parties. For parties like FDC, DP, UPC, you get to see that at the political party level, they spent much less. Most of the spending was done by candidates that participated in the Member of Parliament races.
Muguzi adds that churches were the most beneficiaries in form of donations.
Most of these donations were made either in cash or in kind. Now, churches were the biggest beneficiary of the donations, okay? And this accounting for about 70% of the total donations that were made. Of course, the other donations went to women groups, to youth groups, to mosques and so on.
It is in this finding that the civil societies have called for development of tougher laws on campaign financing to avoid wanton spending of taxpayers' money.
We are calling upon the Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, but also Parliament, to enact stringent laws, but also set up institutions to regulate campaign financing. And the reason we are focusing on campaign financing is that the current laws tend to focus more on routine financing of political parties. We have to delink campaign financing from routine financing because campaign financing comes with its own pressures. Campaign financing is a different ball game.
Muguzi expressed dismay at the IGP Kalekehura for apparently failing to act on the arrest of election bribery suspects.
For him, the law does not draw a clear, there is no clear line between voter facilitation and voter bribery. But we are saying that facilitation payments all over the world have been criminalized and equated as bribery payments, and therefore the police should be able to without any qualification, proceed and use the current laws.
Meanwhile, the chairman, Transparency International Uganda, John Mary Odoy, calls for strict regulations before vote bribery goes out of control.
You cannot demand accountability from a leader who has given you money. Who can walk to President Museveni now and say, you know, we are demanding this from you? But he has given me the 5 million. Do I have to say anything? He has given you a sack of money. Do you come and say, hey, you are doing this not in the right way? So I think it's not very easy when somebody has already compromised you. Corruption in a political party and campaign finance damages democracy because it undermines elections and distorts political competition. And of course we are seeing this. So we are saying that it is the money that speaks today.
Sisi Kagaba for Anti-Corruption Coalition Uganda raised her concern for the practice resulting into getting weak leaders.
Members of parliament that are going to come, but are they really coming to serve, or they are coming because they expect business, and it's like a return on investment. And again, it isn't surprising that one of the things they do when they come, when they take over office, is to increase their emoluments. Because remember that they would have spent much more during the time of elections. They actually invest a lot in the process of buying, vote buying, in order for them to reap when they come to parliament.
However, Dr. Julius Kiza, a lecturer for political science, hailed the electorates that though money is spent during elections, some people stick to their beliefs. Though this was the first survey conducted on campaign financing, Muguzi reveals that the 2016 polls were too much commercialized. Other findings in the report indicated that the aircraft number 5YHKK used by President Museveni was registered in Kenya by a private owner, and the rent and grant of the aircraft is worth 7 million Uganda shillings per hour, which was a huge amount when summed up for the 3 months campaign. The civil society also urged the aspirants in the just concluded elections to come out and account for the money they fundraised from people, with President Museveni and Kizza Besigye mainly on the spot. This report is compiled by Andrew Kagwa for WBS Prime News.